Hi, I'm Annika, and welcome back to Art to Wellness. Today's theme is courage. Courage can take many forms, but when I think of courage, I think of stepping outside of your comfort zone and trying things that you're scared of. To demonstrate this, today we're going to be drawing a piece with only a few colors, and we're going to be trying to expand our imaginations a little bit. What we're going to be doing is called a one-line drawing, in which you basically close your eyes and scribble all over the page, and then you go in with other colors to try to look for little shapes, patterns, and doodles within that line, and then you're basically gonna let your creativity take over from there. For this project, I used alcohol markers. You can use any markers. I used colored pencils and a piece of paper. If you're gonna use markers, I would recommend having a piece of paper underneath. And that's it, let's get started. So as I just mentioned, we're going to start this drawing by basically drawing a scribble. What I did is I just closed my eyes and kind of just went wild. I just used one color and I just drew all over the place. So that part's honestly probably one of the funnest parts. But next I went back in and I tried to look for patterns that I saw. So right there, you can see I saw like a treble clef, like a music note. And I saw a heart here. It's one of those really fun exercises that builds your creativity and allows you to be in control. And yeah, you can find shapes in the scribble line you drew, but you can also just make your own. So I'm just gonna go back in and continue to keep looking, and it definitely takes a lot of practice to be able to just see something that isn't really there, but it's definitely something that I thought was really fun. So now that I've found all the things that I want to find, I'm basically just going back over in the other color and kind of filling in some gaps and making some abstract shapes because I find that really pretty. I would recommend using a color that's similar to the first color of your line because this challenge we're going to be using a limited number of colors. And now I'm going in with an orange colored pencil and I'm basically just shading in certain areas and doing a hatching technique in different areas, which is basically similar to shading, but instead of completely coloring it through, you draw lines, almost like little bars. Yeah, you'll see an example of that in a minute, but I'm just going in and shading whatever I think I want to shade, and yeah. So right here is an example of hatching. You can see I'm not fully coloring it in, but it still gives the illusion that it's a little bit darker than the rest of it, which is one of my favorite art techniques. And now I'm going back in with yellow, and similarly to the orange, I'm just coloring in areas that I see fit and basically just following my heart. I'm adding more layers to this leaf that I drew down here. And now I'm doing it similarly to what I did with the colored pencil. I'm just going back in and shading and hatching and adding squiggly lines and polka dots anywhere and everywhere. This is one of my favorite parts as well. So we're basically just gonna keep doing this until we're content with how our drawing is finished, or how we're content with our drawing. And then we're basically just gonna sign it, but Here, I'm just going to continue filling in some little spaces because, you know, we're just using a few colors and I want to make the most of them. I would recommend trying to fill up as much of the page as you can, even though this can definitely be difficult. I thought that it was actually a really fun exercise, and I'm really excited for you to be trying it too. And now I'm kind of just wandering even further. I'm just kind of tracing around the shapes instead of directly coloring them in. I just think this adds a really cool, like, almost 3D effect. Like with the music note, you can see multiple colors on the outline, which I think is really pretty. Just adding more and more layers around the heart, trying to build some depth and trying to fill up the page. Now I'm coloring in with red. Those are my 3 colors that I picked today. I picked yellow, orange, and red, like some really bright and happy colors, and I think that they actually really look nice together, even though they could definitely be a little bit bright. I think that they're quite nice on this page. Now I'm just tracing over the waves one final time. And lastly, sign your piece. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.